You're listening to the Country Chat Podcast with your host, Dom. Subscribe, give a 5-star rating, and follow us on Twitter at country_chat. And stay up to date.
Hey there, you listen to the Country Chat Podcast with me, Dom. Today I got two very special guests from Northern Ireland. The names are Chris and Chantelle, and they're from The Rising. Hi guys.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. I've just started a new job in my outside of the music industry, so it's been the past few weeks has just been absolutely mental. How's it been for you guys?
Oh, yeah, I'm the same. I had to get a wee job because obviously I'm a student, so music and independent music at that just wasn't cutting it. So I am now a care worker, so I've been kind of out and about through the pandemic and giving it stacks, I suppose.
It's quite a change in direction.
Yeah, kind of. But it's really fun, though. It's really enlightening.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I was, apart from music, my so-called day job was in a theatre.
Oh, yeah?
I was pretty much, nothing. So I was on furlough for a bit, and then that was stopped, so I'm kind of in that in-between stage at the minute.
Yeah.
What's happened with the theatre? You know, is it still surviving, or is it one of the unlucky?
That's the thing. They're trying to cut costs.
Yes.
So that's what they've done. They've reduced all their staff costs and everything. And they're saying with the whole social distancing side of things, it may mean that because they had how the program works is it works from January to I think June, and then from September until the following sort of January period. Yeah. But because of the way it worked, their whole program is gone until at least January.
It must be difficult. It must be hard, you know, just to adapt. Going from I'm furloughed to now looking for something. It can't be easy.
Yeah, well, that's it. You know, because generally, as a musician, your two main sources of income are gigs. You know, we all sort of done the cover kind of gigs or
there's
weddings.
Those. And they fell through completely.
Yeah.
I worked in a BYO venue beforehand, and our main source of income was bands coming in. You were the sound engineer, ironically, but our main source of things was weddings, parties, and since January it was very quiet. I think everyone got that kind of idea that there was something going on in the world.
Yeah.
And then everything kind of died down, and then March came and it was complete silence.
Yeah.
It was.
So.
Yeah,
It's a weird situation to be in.
There's not really much you can do when you're a musician. There's you can release music.
Yeah.
Which is going to cost you money and you're not making any. Or you can just kind of find something that can tie you over at least until something becomes more permanent.
Yeah. I think that's kind of been our strategy, just to put all our energy into music and
put all our furlough money into music.
What little we have, you know, just eat 1 pea or 1 bean a day, you know.
Oh my goodness.
That's always the hardest thing, you know. It's knowing that you want to do the music, because I know you're doing is it a single every month?
Yeah.
Single every month, yeah.
So no pressure.
that takes a lot of not only planning, but just coordination between you guys, and then getting the music to go out when you want it to go out.
Well, we had started the year with kind of having a song planned for at least the first 4 months.
Yeah.
And then everything kind of kicked in, and the distributors were we don't know where we are right now. We can't really get stuff out at the minute. We're all working from home. And we were but we're on a deadline. It's the schedule. And I think you found it more difficult than me because you were kind of having to do all the jobs instead of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's because you're kind of in the chain, you know, it's not just you know, you write music and throw it out. You've kind of got, you know, the people that are mastering the record. You've got the distributors, and then they're dealing with Spotify's and the Apples and everything else.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
You know, we found I think it was the April release.
Yeah.
we discovered that's whenever we discovered things were starting to slow down.
Yeah.
Because we found that the April release, the iTunes pre-order didn't go up
Yeah.
at all.
Oh, that must have. Oh, I'd be fuming. I'd be angry.
Yeah. He was. I remember being downstairs, like in the dining room, like just like on my laptop, kind of like doing socials, and he came storming downstairs, and I was like, "What's wrong?" And he was like, "iTunes, just don't get me started." I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, so it started off with iTunes, and then the next month, the Spotify sort of
end of things.
It's basically, I'm not too sure. A lot of people that are artists and stuff might know, but whenever you upload something to Spotify, it'll tell you, right, okay, you have something new coming out, submit it to our playlist, people.
Yeah.
And basically, you have to get that in as early as possible.
Yeah.
But it didn't come out. So there was at least, because we had the single, I think, let's use hypothetical dates. We had the single sent to distributors, I think it was like on the 20th of the month previous.
Yeah.
And it was due to come out about 6 weeks later. It wasn't until 4 days before the release that the pre-order went up on Spotify.
Oh wow! I mean, people won't see this, but we're currently talking via Zoom at the moment. And I'm gobsmacked. My mouth is just, I'm speechless.
Yeah. If you were here, you can probably if we had heat technology, you'd probably feel the anger.
Yeah. So it's so annoying.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of got back on track a little bit. Things have started a little bit. Now, I'm not saying it's like boom, 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 but it's becoming a little less chaotic in the stream of things.
Yeah, because it kind of made us think differently, actually, because that first month and then the second month we realized, right, okay, the Spotify and the Apple Music may not go up when we want it to go up.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is try to push people to our own business, to our website. So instead of pre-ordering the single on Apple, they can pre-order it direct from us.
Yes.
Cheaper. So obviously it's going to affect your chart position and everything else. But at the end of the day, it means you're gathering more information.
Yeah, exactly.
It's better for you. You're getting the email, you're getting the direct-to-customer relationship. So,
I mean, you've been out for some time now, so people know how great you guys are.
That's good.
It's not like you're a new upcoming artist that has to get these chart positions to say, okay, I can create a number one album or a number one EP or a number one single. People know that you write good music because you do. It's fantastic. I mean, I Want You is just, it's sublime to say it's come from like the twist of the previous single, Shadows on the Wall. It's everything flows, and not many people can get it to do that.
That's very kind.
Thank you so much.
But we're sort of like in a weird sort of position where all our singles are kind of different.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of always, I don't know what the right word is. We kind of always focused ourselves on not pigeonholing where our music goes.
Yeah.
Like, we have so many different influences from each of us. Like, Chris has Bruce Springsteen and like various other people. I'm like, I don't know, Beatles.
Yeah, well, that's your name after,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's been brought up on we've both been brought up on country music our whole lives, Garth Brooks, Johnny Cash, that type of thing. And obviously, because I don't want to sound rude, but I grew up in a different generation. I kind of grew up in like Disney era, pop era, Avril Lavigne,
Hannah Montana,
Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift, and I kind of brought all those kind of stuff in and went, I like this, and he was like, well, I like that, and we kind of went boom, and we got it all together. And I think what is great about us now as a duo, because we were a band beforehand. That rhymes.
A songwriter.
Rhyme. I know, but yeah, we were a band, and there was like 5 of us, and it was just so head melting because it was like, oh, I wrote that bass line part, put it there, and Chris was like, oh, well, I kind of wrote this whole thing, so I'm gonna take that. And it was like just so much stress, and everyone had their own different taste, and it was sounding like a jumble. But now that we've kind of got into a vibe, like our whole kind of, I don't know, what is it called, our
streamlined.
Yeah. we're more on track.
Yeah, well, that's it. Basically, it comes from, so what we kind of do is it's kind of business-like in a way, but it's the only way you can do it. Sort of, I call it just keeping the tap dripping.
Yeah.
So we will have like a songwriter, meet up once a week to basically write, what have you got, and let's see what we can work on. And
Yeah.
so our sort of goal is, because we've got our own recording studio.
Yeah.
So we also write in the studio. So we're constantly getting ideas, either recording ideas, bits of paper ideas, voice memos. There's always something flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just constant. And this idea of going monthly means,
it means we can get it all out and it's already there, which is kind of what the public want at the minute, I think. And also the fact we like to keep people guessing. Like, when you hear one song from us, you'll probably not hear another thing like that until maybe at all, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's why you were saying, like, Shadows was so deep and intense, and nobody had really kind of heard that side of us before. They were like, whoa, where did the happy-go-lucky people go? And it was like, we kind of went dark for a month, and then it was like, hi, we're back with something a little bit cheeky and a little bit fun, and no one's ever heard this side of us before.
Yeah. It's just letting the song dictate where the production and the sound goes.
So how did everything like flow when you came to writing I Want You then? Where did all the thoughts and ideas come from?
We had I Want You. That's a very good question. We had I Want You, like, that trumpet riff that you hear? And it goes, do-do-do-do, yeah. I had that like 2 years ago, and I had immediately came to him and I was like, right, we need to put this down somewhere because I need to put it out. It's in my head, can't get it out. And he was sitting there going, right, okay, whatever it is, we can always, because his motto was kind of, it's there, we can change it. And we put it down on the Pro Tools, and he was like, that's amazing, we got to get something around this. What have you got? What else have you got? And I was like, that's it, there's nothing else. That's all I've got. And I think he spent about a good month trying to figure it out, like, because he's like a jigsaw puzzler. He kind of likes to put all the pieces together and kind of make a picture, but he couldn't find this one.
I just tried putting like musical ideas to it,
because I remember he's sitting with Sense going, I don't know where to go. And he'd said something once, like 6 months later, I think it was down the line, and he'd said something like, oh, imagine if we wrote a song that was like just full of cliches. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you're going to hold somebody's hand and go down the lover's walk of love or something. I was like, I have an idea.
Brain's
and
ticking.
And I started writing down all these like weird metaphors and cliches, like, oh, I want a first class seat on the flight to your heart, stuff that would make you cringe in everyday life if you heard it.
Yeah.
and we put it down into like a list form, and we were like, this is completely genius, this works.
Because it was so different than anything we've done before. Normally you're kind of telling a story.
Yeah, and I think in the country scene anyway, especially over like in England and stuff, it's quite family friendly, PG.
Yeah.
So when we kind of went, right, we're going to stick maybe a 15 plus kind of on it, it's like suitable for, older people. Like,
not full 18.
Oh, yeah, or 18. If you listen to the lyrics a lot, Yeah,
because I think one of the reviews actually said that it sounds happy-go-lucky, but when you look at the lyrics...
like you'd probably let your kids listen to it and they'd be like bopping along, but like it's kind of like, I used to do singing competitions when I was like really young, like 8 or 9, and all the girls who would come up, I was growing up in the time of like Rihanna's Take a Bow, so they'd be all going up going, grab your clothes and get gone at like 8 years old, and I'm sitting going, you know what you're singing, right? So we're kind of in that mood at the minute, I think.
I mean, it goes like, was it Disney films? There's like so many innuendos. There's so many programs that they just hide it all in there. And then as adults, you rewatch it and you think, oh, really? We watched that?
Yeah,
we've been watching Disney Plus, like, because Chris got like 6 months free or something with his like phone bill, and we've been watching it, and I've been like, you've ruined my life, this is ridiculous.
But that was in a lot of cartoons and even other animation apart from Disney. You're amazed at how much adult humor is in there, especially The Simpsons.
The Simpsons blew my mind.
That's what I was trying to think of, was The Simpsons. And yeah, just everything. It was pretty much from start to finish. I think it's just one of the episodes where it was just constant. It's like they tried to fit in as much adult humour as possible, but disguising it. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I guess even, being Irish, there was St. Patrick's Day
There
special
was.
one,
There was.
and
Do
it
you
was
remember
like,
that one?
how did they get off with that?
The leprechauns.
Yeah.
I can't.
Now, going back to what you mentioned at the start about the horns, I know I haven't released it yet, but I've actually written a review. I was going to ask you for some artwork so I could actually pin it to the review. But I actually mentioned in the review. Try and word this right. The last time I heard horns as good as this was Lady A's "You Look Good." It is just sublime. It is. It just adds that extra little feel to it. It gives.
Yeah.
I find that horns aren't used enough in country music.
Yeah.
You are right.
Well, it's that Johnny Cash Ring of Fire thing, isn't it? The horns and Ring of Fire.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I mean, "You Look Good" is like.
Yeah. But that's kind of where it comes from.
Yeah, I know. But I think that's kind of one of the things we had in our heads. Like when we were listening to it and stuff, like we were kind of like, well, I Want You. It's kind of different. It's maybe too poppy for the pop world, or not poppy. Too country for the pop world. Too poppy for the country world.
Yeah, that's where we are
that's
exactly.
That's kind of where we get stuck all the time. Yeah, like we get stuck in that like.
Yeah, because there's always that debate, isn't there?
We find like over in England, because like we're kind of based in Leamington Spa currently.
Yeah.
So we find over in England, over here, it's like not as divided of an opinion. They're like, oh, we'll take it. It's great. It's independent. It's like something new. It's something different.
Yeah.
But over in Northern Ireland and we have like 2 different radio stations, but they're all like of the same family, right? So there's Cool FM, there's Downtown Radio and Downtown Country, and you'll send it in and they're the same like license managers, all the rest, programmers, and they'll say, okay, so we're not going to put it on Cool FM because there's like banjos in it and that won't sell our thing, and we're not going to put it on Downtown Country because there's too many synths in it and it's a bit too poppy for us. And then like it's like, damn,
where does it fit?
Where do we go?
Just throw it into the ether.
But they actually liked "I Want You," which was quite surprising. We got to the B list over in Northern Ireland, which was quite strange for an actual independent artist over there. So
it was good. We got a good chunk of radio play on this one.
We got loads over here as well in England. So
but
internationally,
there was quite a lot of stations did come back with a few like proper country stations, as they call themselves.
You're gonna offend somebody.
No, I'm not. So a few like real sort of deep down home country stations said we don't play pop music. So we thought, right, okay. So we sent it into some full-on pop stations.
Yeah.
And they came back saying, we don't play country.
Oh, my. You just can't win.
Stuck. No, you are stuck.
Yeah, so it's a weird thing. As an artist, you're going, oh, what did I do? But
then again, like, as artists ourselves, like, as individuals, like, we'll sit down sometimes and be like, oh, my goodness, what are we going to do? But then sometimes we sit back and we go, well, do you know what? People are paying attention that we're different.
Yeah.
That we're not just going, okay, use one, a mandolin, a banjo, and some pedal steel, and we'll just do that every single release we get.
Yeah.
No, we're kind of going, do you know what? If you don't like it, you don't like it. Somebody else will. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think that's the thing about writing in the studio.
And that's the thing about, I think, songwriters in general.
Yeah.
We kind of like force something different every time.
It's like a big toy box, and you've got all these instruments and all these things that you can play with. And
I remember you saying it's like a cauldron.
Yeah.
And you like stir in potions.
Yeah.
Come on. He watches a lot of like fantasy stuff.
That is that's a great analogy to use that. I mean, especially your lane of music, you pretty much go in it empty-minded and then come out with this magical piece. It's fantastic to see. It's great to hear as well. Just that rawness.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the song. The song leads the way.
Yeah, well, it kind of comes from home as well. Like, I mean, you're getting lyrics that are honest and true that we've spent time on. Like, they come from our kind of diaries, we say, it comes from our hearts. And then you've got the music side of things, which we both take part in. We both have a say in and have an opinion on. And then I'm going to blow your head here because I love you.
Yeah.
And he has like an amazing ear for like mixing and stuff. And he's just so talented at knowing where exactly to push it and where to bring it back and where to put something where it isn't before. And, or, you know, if it's a riff, where to put it in again so that you're constantly hearing something different.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've got that quality that's just so good. And then we've got the masters who, Pete, is it?
Yeah.
He's amazing. He kind of brings it back to Chris, and they have like this one-on-one relationship where they can figure it out themselves. And it's all like from a family community type of thing. Like, we don't release it without, you know, kind of loving it and pushing it in the best way we can.
Well, yeah, it's because we're writing, recording, producing, mixing it.
It's all DIY.
You know, so like a lot of artists, you know, that aren't as lucky to have their own studio, have to pay the studio time, and there's someone else vision because the producers go, well, why don't you do this? So we'd love that probably because
you'd probably think that we're like dying to get into like a proper full-on studio, but I mean, sometimes that can be difficult because like you've got so many different minds. Like I was saying about the band thing before, you have so many different minds with so many different ideas.
Yeah. And
then you feel like you're kind of getting left out in that kind of process. So I think it's kind of nice.
Yeah, well, we did go into a studio before.
Oh, yes.
And we did find that, you know,
it lost sense of direction.
Yeah, the producer was kind of, you know, he was kind of second guessing what we were saying.
All right.
Not that we were going in going, here's the way it's going to be and this is it. You know, we're very collaborative and you know, we will kind of talk to people. But what then happened was we were going, well, try this, and he was going, well, then try this. So everyone was trying so many things, and it was getting so out of focus.
Yeah.
So whereas we find that we're working on our own, we can kind of just craft it in our own time.
Yeah, that's the difficult thing as well. Is, you know, what's the saying? Too many chefs boil the broth or something. You know, if you got
boil the broth,
too many people going into it, you know, you can overload something. You can almost put too much into something, which sounds absurd to a lot of people. But if you overproduce something, it does sound overproduced. And I think you've got that line just right.
Yeah, well,
sometimes.
I was gonna say, it's taken a while because, like, there's been times where, like, I can, most of the family anyway, we find it like if we leave Chris alone for a while, like he'll just do his own thing anyway, and then he'll bring it back and be like, watch this is amazing. And we're sitting going, there's like 700 things I'm listening to, which one do you want me to listen to? And he'll be like, okay, I'll tone it down. But I think you've come to better yourself.
Yeah, well, it's the old thing, you know, sort of you're just trying to push things.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Yeah, and you just kind of get lost in the process. Yeah. Just, I'll put this in, I'll try this too, and I'll stick that in, and you know, and then before you know it, you've 300 tracks later of stuff you're not going to use. You know, it's just like
honestly,
but it's just
most of
it's
that
just a big
like,
toy box. You know?
Yeah, I think I read somewhere once it takes like $10,000 to be an expert at something.
Yeah,
and I think it's like as many hours as you do it, because I know you're like sitting here like from like 9 a.m. to like 6 o'clock in the morning the next day. And I'm still pretty sure that you've done more than 10,000 hours and you're still kind of
well, that's it.
Working on your craft.
But I think as a musician, you know,
I think you always keep working.
Yeah, well, that's the key. You know, a lot of musicians kind of settle. You know, okay, I've done my 10,000 hours or whatever. I'm not officially an expert. You know, where's my expert badge? You know,
professional.
You know, but I think, you know, like as musicians, we should always continue to grow and learn from each other. And sometimes it takes someone that's maybe hasn't played guitar or hasn't written so many songs to come in and go, well, try this. Because they're not coming in with any preconceptions. Sometimes it's refreshing just to work with those people.
That's what it's about, you know, that fresh set of ears or fresh set of eyes. You know, it's nice to have. I mean, I work in the engineering industry, and sometimes it's nice to have somebody come in and say, I've got a problem here. I don't know what's going on. And then they come in, it's like, oh, well, that's missing there, or there's too much of something there. And it's like, oh, okay. It's great to have that fresh set. Now, it's a shame you don't get paid overtime, because with the hours you do, you'd be raking it in.
It's a shame you don't get paid in general as a musician. But that's the whole other side. You know, the whole industry's kind of shifted.
Yeah.
You know, to where it's kind of in a no man's land at the minute, especially at the minute with
COVID.
No gigs and stuff. It's, you know, because you were kind of, as musicians, we were all kind of depending on the live side.
Yeah.
Because CD sales are kind of not really a thing anymore, and you know, but we were actually talking about it the other day that vinyl is actually our biggest seller.
Yeah, it's going up.
It's crazy, the whole concept of vinyl. I mean, yes, back in the 80s, early 90s, it was the go-to, media to use. And it's almost like a vintage, I use quotation marks, vintage thing to do now, a hip thing to do. But
I would call it vintage. I'm sorry.
But I honestly do love the sound of vinyl. That whole, almost like a scratch to it, a natural scratch.
Yeah.
When we first got the album, Moving On vinyl, like the first time I heard the test press, I was like, I'm on a vinyl. I was like, I'm so famous. And he was like, it's only a vinyl. Like, calm down. It's a vinyl. It's amazing. And I was like, I know.
It was a big thing.
But no, I'm 21, so the only vinyls I saw were my granddad's, and I honestly thought they were like things you set your dishes on when I was a kid. Honest to goodness. And I was like, that's the only thing I'd ever saw. And I saw him put in like these things to little whatever they were, and I was like, right, okay, it makes noise, good for that, you know. CDs can do that, you know. You know, so for me to actually, you know, be like, oh, I have one of those now, I'm kind of in the history book, because I was really excited.
But I think it's because, like, especially today, it's all streaming and there's no kind of ownership. So what we have kind of found is people that don't even have record players are buying the vinyl. But
also, like, the thing is, like, for people who are like in my generation or the one below me anyway, they're kind of like gripping for something to own. And they're like, whoa, I've got something that's like really cool. You don't have it because you only have a phone. I have it vinyl. And it's like, they're sticking them up on their walls just for artwork and everything.
Well, that used to be, that's a big thing as well now, is these, you know, like first edition vinyls that people have kept from like the 80s, where it is in pristine condition. Please tell me you've got some good ones. Oh, tell me you've got some Bruce. Tell me you got the box on vinyl.
Yeah, I collect too many records.
If I could show you,
thousands of records.
It's ridiculous the amount of ones that he has.
So as I'm saying, I actually have the album we're named after. The Rising album. You know, it was actually one of the first records I bought.
Oh wow!
You know, so I have the original pressing of it.
See that if it's kept in mint condition, that'll be worth.
They're all. I'm like super obsessive.
OCD about it.
Good.
So I'm one of those, you know. It's like the cover is separate from the actual records, and it's all in plastic cases.
Yeah, I'll pick one up, and he'll be like, "Oh no,
wear gloves."
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll go in and he'll have like a little brush or something, like a makeup brush, or like I'm just be like, just making sure it's not dusty, and I'm like, you're an idiot. I was going to say something worse, but you're an idiot.
But it is. It's like it's just something like.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like you're sort of part of the music in a way, because like.
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to listen to the whole album. You can't really skip anything.
Yeah, which is great, because especially for albums, you know, like there's that old argument.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to you have to take it out of the sleeve, and that's an effort. And then you have to put it on a turntable, and you have to thing, and you know, the whole thing takes like 5 minutes.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm really scared to do is put the little thing, the arm onto it, because I'm afraid I'll break it or something.
But yeah, so it's effort to listen.
Yeah.
So you know, if you're going to listen to a record, you're going to sit and listen, and you're going to be focused.
Exactly.
And that's kind of it's something that's kind of got lost today in a way. You know, the people listen to albums. You know.
Well, it's similar to, like, you know, we use this vintage look, you know, like Polaroid film cameras. You used to have a picture. You took that picture, instantly disposed out, and you had to wait 5 minutes for it to thing. And then you looked at it and it's like, that's a good picture. And you keep it, and you keep it for years and years and years. You know, it's that same sentimental value and that whole effort of putting the vinyl on. If you put so much effort into doing something, you're going to want to sit and listen. You know, you don't want to do a load of work for nothing. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of
for people to kind of like, if they were to like throw it away or something, it'd be really heartbreaking because you put a lot of money into it.
Yeah, but you can't. But you can like profit from people's like misfortune in a way, because you'll go into like charity shops and whatever, and you'll see like these records that you know that are worth a fortune, but they just like throwing them out.
Well, you're a collector,
and you're like,
please tell me you go into charity shops as well.
Yeah.
And you have a little flick through and, oh, that's a nice condition one.
Yeah.
I've done it so many times. Yeah.
There was actually one, without getting too geeky, I picked up a vintage Queen record that was actually it still had the actual album came with a poster.
Yeah.
With they had a song called Bicycle Race, which was the actual original video had like naked models riding around a bicycle track, and they actually had a poster of all these naked women on the bicycle, but the actual poster was banned.
Yeah.
Because it was like, so if you can get a copy of this poster, it's like worth a lot of money.
And you've got one?
So I was in the charity shop and just seen this.
So record. Have you got one?
Yeah.
I'm going to go sell it.
It needs pinning up on the wall, but in a nice protective case that nobody can break into.
No, don't. If you want to know what he does with that, like putting stuff on walls, he's a movie poster buff and Lego. Anything with Lego.
Chris, I'm loving you more and more as this conversation goes on.
Honestly, like he has, the firehouse from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So he got it one Christmas, and it took him like a day just to build.
No, it took like a day just to build. What, like 3 months to build? It's like massive.
But it sat like in the actual studio, and he was constantly like making sure it was okay and not dust it. And I was like, "Can you open it so I can like play with it?" And he was like, "You don't play with it." I was like,
Decoration.
"It's Lego."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, right." So he then went and got a big glass cage thing that was like this big, and he's got like little tears on it, and he's not got the house in there. And I was like, "So I can't play with it then?" And he's like, "No."
Is it under lock and key?
Yeah,
basically. I don't know what it is. It's just
you love it.
Yeah. Movies and music. It's just that's me.
That's
so
brilliant.
I even got like vintage movie posters used to get in cinemas.
Yeah,
I collect those as well. So
the original ones they used to have on the outside, on the inside of the auditorium.
Yeah.
Some of those can be serious value in them.
Yeah. That's why I started getting into it. So any that, because you would sort of find them in cinemas the odd time, you pick one up just to. You all the best of intentions of selling it all, but you kind of never do.
You see, Chantelle's listening to this thinking, I wonder how much I could sell them for.
Yeah.
I'm like, because he's constantly going, I need money for some gear. We need a new microphone. We need something for the studio. And I'm like, see that big poster on the wall that you said was worth like £500? I could buy you the mic. And he's like, I'm not getting rid of the poster.
You see, in 20, 30 years' time, it might be worth double that.
Exactly.
It's called an investment.
Might.
Well, it's like buying stocks. You don't know whether it's going to be worth more or less in the future.
Used to be good at poker. I would be really bad. I'd be like, I'm only putting in a point.
Yeah.
Used to be like, 600. Come on, let's go.
That's brilliant.
It's a weird world, the old collecting world.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
No.
I don't think. No, definitely not.
Yeah, you're trying to collect something.
I don't think so.
Just watching Disney.
Watching Disney. I'm kind of a car person, to be fair. I like cars. But I don't have like 6 of them outside.
Yeah.
What's your go-to car?
This is a hard one. My dad had a Range Rover Evoque once. It was brilliant. But I also like a wee Lamborghini. impartial to one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the cheap stuff. Even
Not
the
the
Range
cheapest.
Rovers, even the Range Rovers and Land Rovers are just so expensive now.
Yeah, I know. My dad's driving one. I'm like constantly, can I borrow it? Oh, I'm going on tour. And I'm just going to take it for a week. And he's like, no, you won't.
You're not even going to get a yellow Beetle?
I wanted a yellow, right. Do you know the Dukes, the Nissans?
Yeah.
Right? He took me, because I was so dead against going to see this film, Bumblebee, because I was like, I've always heard him talk about Transformers, and I was like, this is so boring. Like, robots? No, don't get it. And then he took me to see Bumblebee, and I fell in love. So every, like, car that was yellow, I was like, I want it. I want Bumblebee. And so we found this, like, Duke that was really yellow and had, like, a black stripe up the bin. I was like, it's the actual car. We want to get it, but no.
This is where you take the camera outside now and it's out in the drive.
Yeah,
I wish. No, someone can't drive yet, so we're waiting for him to get a wee driving license.
Just drop him in it there.
Yeah, that's it.
What?
No?
So you've not got your driving license yet then, Chris? I'm going to dig this even further then. Have you like started your lessons or?
I have, yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah.
How's the lessons going?
Okay. It's going okay. Haven't crashed yet. Still plenty of time though.
It's horrible when you crash. Believe
You
me.
were out this morning, weren't you?
Yeah.
So,
That's why the roads were clear. There's like a national emergency around the area, you know.
No, you were doing bay parking, was it?
Yeah.
So he's getting better,
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
Yeah, it's just kind of pulling it all together.
Yeah.
Is where it's at the minute.
Have you done all the horrible stuff like parallel parking and turning?
Yeah, that's the only one I've left to do.
Good luck with that.
See, for my driving test, that was the only minor I got, was the parallel park. I got one
Really?
minor and I was gutted. I thought it's because I thought I got it right, but I had to like shunt a little because I went a little bit too far with the wheel.
Yeah.
But because I rectified it, it wasn't that a big a deal.
Yeah, I was really lucky. I got like reverse around the corner, which was my bomb. Loved it.
Oh, so jealous.
I know. Everyone was. They were like, what did you get? And I was like, reverse around the corner. And they were like, oh, get away from me. I was loving it. I was like, yes, queen. And plus the fact that like the woman who was like doing my driving test, I probably shouldn't say this like live on air, but like the woman who was doing the driving test, like I remembered I stole the car, but it has like a start stop thing. So I put the clutch back in and we were talking about music and I was like, oh yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter. Oh yes, I definitely released my own music. And she didn't seem to notice, so it was okay. Because I only got 2 minors, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That is so lucky.
I know.
So you have to talk the instructor to death and the
Be nice.
test person. Okay, just distract him.
It's not what I did.
Thing is though,
He's so mean to me.
what's it called? Statute of limitations. You know, it's happened ages ago now, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I passed my driving test.
Scary, isn't it?
5 years, doesn't it go fast?
It's
It's
mental.
mad, like 17.
It's mental.
Oh.
Have you got any ideas of when you're going to take your test, Chris?
I don't know. See, once again, that dreaded thirsty virus, you know.
Yeah.
I thought I would have had it by now, but I would like to. Ideally, I would like to do it before Christmas, but
Yeah.
we shall wait
Depends
and
on
see.
what goes on.
You know.
Now, to go back to the music a bit, the reason why I actually prolonged the talk about the cover arts and the artwork on the walls was because I want to go more into depth about the choice of artwork for I Want You. The whole reasoning behind it. I know the main reasons, but I want to go further into that.
Well, basically, it was to do with that sort of 80s movie kind of feel. You know, we wanted to kind of conjure up that sort of E.T. meets the Goonies kind of feel.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the bicycle and, you know, it kind of looks like something eerie is going on. So it's kind of Stranger Things kind of feel.
It's simple but effective.
Yeah. Well,
That's what I thought.
you know, for us, you know, the artwork is kind of vitally important. It's coming back to that collecting vinyl, collecting posters, you know, it's like, you know, the artwork, especially nowadays, because, you know, you don't really see the artwork.
Yeah.
But one of the main sort of revenue streams that we've actually found is to sell prints of the artwork.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
yeah.
great.
So you actually, so then what you do then is you go, right, we're going to put a single out, but what we're going to do is create the artwork as a piece of art that you can then buy. So it's also part of storytelling as well. It's like an extension of the songwriting.
Yeah, like all of our artwork, I think, like, we create with, we create it with a vision in mind. That's the song and what the song's about. And we kind of put a little twist on the artwork. So you kind of go, oh, okay. And you can like get all together.
Yeah.
And all of our artwork kind of has one kind of flowing storyline as well. Like if you were to put them all together, you'd probably go, oh, there's a story there, and like that's part of the thing of coming from movie backgrounds and album backgrounds, so that if you were to stick them all together, they would, kind of go in tangent with each other.
Yeah, because, for us, the last thing we ever wanted to do was, the old, let's just take a picture of ourselves and stick it on the cover. And, because to us, that's kind of lazy. I can see why it's done, because it's the easiest thing to do, just, away you go. But it's much more fun to get creative and start to think, what can I do with this to make it something else?
Well, that kind of ties into what we were talking about right at the start with the whole, when you're a new artist, you're trying to get yourself out there. And if you're putting, artwork out there, nobody really knows who you are or what you really look like. So as a new artist, you can get away with that. You can do that. But when you, like I say, you've got a collection of great songs, people know who you are.
Yeah.
You can afford to do this. You can.
Yeah, I think we kind of came at it from another angle as well, because we have never done the picture on the front.
Yeah, even in the band, the way it was before a female entered into
before
the
whole...
joined? Yeah, before I joined. There was a male singer, and even at that, like I was a fan of the band before I was in it, so it was like, to me, even to see their first album, was it Exit? Was it? Is that what the reviews were called?
Yeah, that was the very first,
but
way back in the day.
Yeah, but even at that, they were like full on rock heads. It was ridiculous. But like, even at that, I mean, all they had was a black cover with like Exit on it, like, and it looked like a sign, that you'd see on the top of the door. And I was like, haha, smart.
Yeah, because it's like the logo is important. That's why we initially developed it's a backwards T and R put together.
Yeah.
Backwards.
Yeah, that took me a few years to figure out.
I never got that. Oh.
Yeah, you see, you're not the only one. I was the same. Yeah.
That's why the actual the N part is shorter than the T part is shorter than the R.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Yeah. So
I feel dumb.
Trust me. Me, like, I'm the singer of the band. I'm still going, are you sure it's a T?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, it's a T with an R put on, because it's actually, because whenever the designer was doing it, I was in the room and it was actually, they had the letter T and the letter R and you moved them together.
Oh, wow.
Because we tried it the proper way round, with the R the proper way round. And just didn't look right. So reversed it.
And we always hide the little R.
Yeah, we always put it in so in each artwork, there's always like if you look at the I Want You cover, the actual bike, the actual sort of spoke on the bike, the TR is hidden in the spoke of the bike.
Oh, you cheeky. You're all cheeky.
Yeah. Yeah, so we always hide it. It's always there.
I mean, I'm looking at the Shadows on the Wall one now, and it's very visible now, but you can actually, for anybody wanted to know what we're actually talking about, it's great. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm infatuated now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what we've done over the monthly singles, we stopped just putting the rising on them and just went more with the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it makes it a bit more. Well, I prefer the R logo to the rising logo, like the actual text one.
Yeah.
But because to me, I'm a very hello
puppies.
So cute.
Yeah, what I tend to do for everybody out there is I have a dog, and sometimes the dog barks if somebody's knocking at the door. So I like to pre-warn my guests to say, yeah, I've got a dog. If somebody knocks at the door, it might bark. And that just happened.
Oh, so cute. Right. But no, I'm a very visual person. So the text to me always seemed quite messy. So the
Yeah.
art was quite plain and simple, and it was
Yeah.
boom, I'm here.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I actually came up with the idea of hiding it, because when
Yeah.
I first came in, I was what? Oh, I think I might have been 16, 17 at the time.
Mm.
So I was quite like, I have so many fresh ideas. I'm so cool. Check me out. And the first single we ever released together as a band with me as the real lead singer was Last First Love.
Yeah.
And we'd went through so many different artwork ideas, and there was one with a tongue, which was quite weird. There was one with like just hearts. There was one with a bird cage, and I was loving the bird cage idea.
Yeah.
And you'd stuck a heart in the middle of it, like an actual like anatomy of a heart, which I found was quite strange and disturbing. But he loved it. So there was one, and then we like hid the R like right in the middle, because I was like, Last First Love, there's an R in the middle if we turn it round, and he was like, no. And then I was like, okay, then what if we hide it so it's still there? And he was like, okay, we'll do that. And then ever since, it's been like, right, we're hiding it and things.
It's almost like Where's Waldo?
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Yeah. We should give out prizes if people find it.
We should make that as part of a merch item.
Where's our?
Yeah, where's our? Yeah,
where's the Riedling?
That is.
Imagine.
You see, that's why I like these chats, is because we come up with some great ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think we should totally do that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I do like we were saying earlier. I do like the idea of all like the cover arts as actual physical artwork, because it is a piece of art. You know, there's so many albums out there with great art, you know, cover art. Now it's called cover art. You know, it's got the name, the title.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
But I think, you know, come back to the idea of putting your face on the cover. Especially today, we have so much social media. You've got your Instagram, your Facebook, your whatever. So you're constantly bombarding your face on those. So with your actual product, you'll kind of want to do something different.
Yeah.
So in a way, you know, for us, the records are kind of the invisible band in a way. You know, it's like you don't not necessarily know who these guys are. You have to go and find. You know, go and look up the website to see any pictures of us.
Makes it that a bit more quirkier and more memorable. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's kind of laying out breadcrumbs, because you're kind of making people, oh, hang on, I'll have to go and check these people out and see what they look like. So we'll go to the website, and then they'll maybe see something else.
And then they're shocked at what we actually do. Like,
And then they're like, oh, is that
it
it?
could have been so much better.
Now we've mentioned the
nice to each other.
We've mentioned the website quite a few times, so I'm just going to read it out now. It's therisingmusic.com. Now, I've got it on my phone right here now, and it is a great website. It's got links to everything, you know, links to videos, links to the actual CDs, vinyls, etc. People do need to check it out, and there's even on the menu, there's a tab down for store, and that's where people need to go. People need to go to the store, buy your stuff, and help produce more music, because that's where the money comes from.
Exactly, that's it.
You know, like, we really, like, there's a thing going around at the minute on, like, live streams for musicians, and it's called a virtual tip jar.
Yeah.
And we find that, like, quite difficult to kind of jump on board with, because we know what it's like as, you know, general, like, humans, to kind of go, well, I don't really have enough money to kind of tip someone who one I've never met, just to
especially
sing me a
nowadays.
song, you know. And we actually we find it quite a wee bit sickening to be like, right, if you want a song, you give me a $5, and it was like, no, that's not the way you do it. You know, we were like, we put the wee link up, and we were like, look, we are not asking for anything. It is just there because
everyone else is
literally it was peer pressure. Every people were coming to us, like, fans of the band were like, why do you not have one? Why do you not have one? And it was like, okay, we'll put one up, but we're not going to ask for anything. Like, if you want a song played, we'll play it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long to learn it.
See, that is, I totally respect that. I mean, I can't understand why I can understand why people would try and create an incentive to make people tip, but at the end of the day, a tip is a tip. You know, it's something you give as a gratuity. And, you know, if people really love your music and they understand you and they understand how difficult the times are, they will tip. And to just put it there, and if people do, people do. If people don't, people don't. I mean, I can't. the past few months I've been really struggling with money. That's why I've got two jobs. So it's like, you know, I couldn't do it as much as, say, somebody who's a key worker and still earning a full wage can do. You know, it swings and roundabouts, and it's people's circumstances. You know, it's
See, that's exactly where we were coming from, because you know, like a lot of musicians were going, "Oh, we have lost all our revenue. You know, come help us." But you also have to remember that there's others out there who've done the same.
Revenue as well. It's, you know, it's like,
you know, so the least, you know, we sort of came at it as, you know, these fans give us so much that they invest their time into us. So the least we can do is invest our time back to them and get to know them. You know, so one of the good things that we have noticed about our live streams is
we get the same people
coming
back and back and back. And now they're like talking to each other. Like, and forget us. You know, forget us. We're just sitting singing in the background. They're actually sitting talking and having like a full-on chat on the comments. And it's like amazing to see this kind of community come together. And like, it could be someone from Scotland to someone in, I think we had someone in from like Amsterdam last week, and they were just talking about country music and how it's so different in both their places. And I was like, wow, this is amazing to see that come together.
Yeah. And that was kind of key.
That's kind of brilliant. That's kind of amazing.
You know, because like if people, you know, because by putting a tip jar on that, we thought was like, you're kind of forcing people.
Yeah.
But what we wanted to do was, right, okay, we're going to provide you with, we're going to get to know you. Here's what we can do for you.
Yeah.
And then we also wanted to give away free music. So we're putting together an EP at the minute.
Yeah.
And we're going to give that away free to anyone that's signed up to the mailing list and stuff.
Which is on the website.
So it's kind of giving back in a way.
Kind of getting to know the fans one-on-one instead of putting a wall between us.
Isn't it crazy watching like the live stream, like you just mentioned, how people talk from Scotland to Amsterdam, how far you actually reach? You know, you kind of get the idea of what your actual global reach is, and it will be fantastic.
It's very great, because sometimes when you're an independent artist and you've got your family supporting, and it's like, oh yay, and from sometimes you hear like your family or your extended family, like cousins, aunts, whatever, going, oh, that was brilliant, listen to it, amazing, it was on the radio, amazing, and you're like, oh, they're the only ones that are hearing it. So sometimes you kind of forget that everywhere else exists for a bit, and then you'll get someone, I think our Spotify, what's that word? Hiked? No.
Yeah.
Spiked. In Hong Kong. And we were like, Hong Kong?
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And then we had someone come from, I think it was, we did an interview, not yesterday. Was it yesterday? I can't remember. But we had an interview from someone from North Minnesota or something. And it was
Arizona.
like, wow, amazing. Arizona. And it was amazing to like, how did you even find us? That's amazing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so it's like, I think it's one of the things that, you know, one of the good things that come out of this whole thing is that as artists, certainly we've seen all the things that we weren't doing that we should have been doing.
Yeah.
Well, before all this, we were just happy enough to go, oh, well, we'll do a gig and we'll do whatever. But the actual idea of creating a community and talking one-to-one with your fans,
It's
something you never thought of doing.
Yeah.
Like, it's something we actually did at live gigs. Like, me and Chris, anyway, like, we had a bass player, a drummer, and a keyboard player before it was just the two of us. And it was like me and Chris had made it our duty to kind of go down, say hello to everybody, have a chat, make sure that they felt welcome. But the other three would just stay up on stage and pack away their gear. And I was kind of like, that's not the way it should be, though.
Yeah.
You know, if I was at a gig, you know, and I came to support this person, I would like to be, you know, have a one-to-one convo, see what's going on and why they're here and all the rest of it. So I think we kind of made it our thing to kind of go down and make sure everybody was having a good time, making sure that they were okay, break that fourth wall.
See, that's so humble. That's brilliant to see. That's brilliant to hear. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, when you're beyond massive, like the Carrie Underwoods, which I'm sure you will be soon, you'll have that extra security at the front where people are trying to grab a piece of your hair or...
Yeah. But I think that's, you know, from our point of view, even if it did get to somewhere around that, we would kind of find a way to do what we're doing now, because we really do value that kind of idea that because we're fans of music ourselves,
Yeah.
and we would love it if I don't know a Springsteen or Kai Underwood or whoever, actually came and sent us a happy birthday thing, or all it takes is 5 minutes of your time to go and say to someone,
"Happy birthday."
Yeah, or whatever.
Hello, how you doing?
And I think it's something that's vitally important, especially nowadays with the way music and music marketing's going.
Because it's kind of scary that these things exist, isn't it? Like mobile phones. It's like sometimes you lose a human contact, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like even from a gigging point of view, we found that whenever we did go down and talk to people, even before the gig, we just mingled among the crowd and, how you doing, and whatever. We found that those people would then be more invested in coming to see you again. Not necessarily because, they have to like your music and all, but, but they were coming because they viewed you as someone who took the time out and went, I want to get to know you.
Yeah. But,
and of course, every musician likes to be all mysterious, like kind of, oh, you can't touch me.
Yeah.
I'm so big and you can't see me. But like before a gig, I can understand that. But afterwards, it's nice to have a little one-on-one.
It makes it more personal. It makes it more, so it shows respect. People are spending their money to come see you. It's
exactly
a two-way street. It's
100.
Like I say, it's humble of you.
Lost. That idea gets really lost. That idea that
it's okay.
but seriously, the idea
he gets annoyed about things.
The idea that fans are, because a lot of these people may not have the best job in the world.
Yeah.
But they're investing their hard-earned money on you.
For sure.
So the least you can do is,
be there for them.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. Now, before I go on to like future music, I would just want to ask you, Chris, a quick question. What is your favourite Bruce Springsteen album?
Well, it's got to be Darkness on the Edge of Time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I've always gone Nebraska because it's just so left side.
Yeah. But yeah. See, whenever you think about it, Nebraska's probably 2 or 3, but for me, Darkness just has that everything that you associate with him is there.
That's fair play.
Plus,
I mean, all of his stuff.
It's great.
All of his stuff is amazing. I mean, when he came over to the UK, 4 years ago was it now? 5 years.
It was Wrecking Ball. Was the last.
Yeah.
I've seen. Probably 2012 it would have been.
That's crazy. I mean,
it's mental.
I remember seeing him in Coventry and just being blown away by how long he can go.
See, this is what he done because I went to see him in Dublin on that tour.
Yeah,
because I always make a point to go to because he seems to love playing Dublin. But what he did was he probably done the same, but he went out and supported himself.
Yeah.
So for anyone that was there early, he came out and played his acoustic guitar, and once again that idea of giving back. He's like
that's really cool.
Exactly, it's that special something. It's that little bonus gift.
Yeah, because the show
stealing
was
our lyrics.
Yeah, but the show was like 8 o'clock.
I don't know.
And then he went out on the stage at it was about 4 o'clock, and then there he was just playing covers and random songs.
Oh, that's amazing.
To anyone that got there early, it's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
That's brilliant. You see that artists like Bruce Springsteen and like yourselves, where you put in that extra bit of effort, just really it adds that extra value to what you pay for and what that whole being a fan. A fan is a fanatic of somebody. It just creates a little personable bubble. It's brilliant. I love it.
Exactly, yeah. And what's your favourite album?
The one with his bum on it?
The one with his bum.
It's a nice bum.
You just like the artwork, do you?
Yeah. Don't ask me.
Can't complain.
What is that one again?
That's the famous one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Born in the USA?
That's the very one, yeah.
There we go. Just picked a song out of there. I'm such a Springsteen fan, guys.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'm on fire.
When you're more of a casual, you know, like the hits and stuff.
I know the hits, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably like, I'm probably a Swiftie by heart, by trade.
Yeah.
So.
I'm carrying the wood.
I'm carrying it.
Was you happy when Taylor Swift brought out a new?
It's amazing. I love it.
I've actually not listened to it yet. I'm kicking myself. I've been busy with work, so I've not had even 2 seconds to even think about listening to it. I'm going to listen to it tonight, actually.
It's very different.
Yeah, I think what sort of caught me off guard is because I'm like a full-on Swiftie as well, you know. So
yeah,
like what caught me off guard was she curses.
Yeah.
And
Does she?
Like, yeah.
Yeah, there's explicits.
It was one of those ones where you had to like wind it back and go, really? But it's not because, you know, oh, she can't say that. It was just more like, you know, because they're like whole, you know.
She's good girls 50, and it's like, you know, she's like for babies. Everybody loves Taylor.
And then just to hear that, you're like, hang on a minute. This is getting dark, you know.
You see when that song came on that she swears on, I was like, oh, she's a queen. She's definitely out for business.
It's a good album, though. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's your favourite track on it then? What would you recommend for me?
My favourite is The One. I like The One.
The One.
Yeah.
Probably August for me.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And the American Trilogy one. The American what one? What's that? The second one on the album.
Oh, forget.
Oh, hold on. I've got Apple Music. Hold on. It's the greatest American story.
We'll just plug Apple Music.
Hold on. Yes, Apple Music, $4.99 if you're a student. It's amazing. The Last Great American Dynasty. It's a good one.
Last Great American Dynasty. I'll make sure I check out at least those 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, mine are like,
I wonder if that's a sequel to the song in the last album.
I think it might be.
What was the song called?
Miss Americana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, everything's a sequel. Everything flows.
Connected.
Now to go back to your music.
No, here we go. This is how you know, like, we are Swifties, because we are like doing the exact same thing, so to speak. Everything links.
But yes, so back to your own music.
Well, that is it.
Yeah.
We link everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love our music.
Going back to your music, what have we got planned for the near future? For the next month's release?
Next month's release. What can we say about it? Because we haven't actually given anything away.
Say whatever.
It's quite Springsteen-esque.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it was actually, you know, it was one of those ones that was written music first.
Yeah.
Chris wrote everything, had everything down first, and then brought me.
If you look at the original Pro Tools session, it was called Boss Idea.
Oh. For people that don't know, Bruce Springsteen's nickname is The Boss.
Yeah. So it was like, because it had that sort of, you know, that sort of heartland kind of feel to it.
You even had the story all laid out, didn't you?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And then you kind of went, right, can you, like, because I'm kind of more lyrical than he is.
Yeah.
No offense, but I am. And he kind of went, right, here's my story, here's what I've got musically, can you think of anything? And now we have a story that involves, I think it's 2 characters.
Yeah.
And like a movie, it's kind of a movie and a song. So 2 characters kind of own separate pathways coming together, and the crux of the song is basically a message to take away with you, like Bruce does in all his songs. It's a message to take away, kind of going, well, do you know what? Sometimes shit happens.
Yeah.
But in the end, there's always something better to come along.
Yeah.
Which is a hint to the title.
That's brilliant. So you got almost like a semi-exclusive here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually have the exclusive, because it's like we have not talked about it.
Yeah. And then in the single after that.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going Heartland Americana feel. Then the next one's kind of
folky.
It's kind of folky, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also story time, because I'm not actually singing as myself.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I'm singing as a character, so that's fun and different. So it's quite interesting to see that come to life, because it's like I'm singing with myself, by myself, if that makes any sense.
That makes total sense. I mean, what you guys do musically and lyrically is just next level. It is really, really next level.
Thank you.
And it shows why Matt Sprackling put you as a country hits Brit.
That's
British
still
champion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's pretty
so
cool.
amazing.
Yeah, he's
Still
been a
getting
legend.
over it. Yeah.
What was it like getting
Yeah.
that message saying that you was going to be on the British champion?
It was one of those ones. It was a long lead up to it.
Yeah.
Because we initially messaged about the exclusive to the track, and then he was like, "Yeah, I really love it. I was this and that and the other," and we got talking. And then about 3 or 4 days later, he was like, "Look, I'm trying to push for this. Just bear with me."
Yeah.
And we got it.
Yeah, so
It was amazing.
it's pretty cool.
I know. It's amazing because it's like one of the biggest, I think, country radios, isn't it?
It was the one that we have tried to get on for a while.
And we hadn't any success in doing that.
Yeah.
Until now. It's
Till
really
now.
good.
So it's like, for us, it's like
Another
each layer,
another step in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, in the UK, regards to like terrestrial radio and like DAB, there's the big three. You got BBC Radio 2, with Whispering Bob. You've got Chris Country, which is only in select areas for DAB. It's like Manchester and London, and then you got Country Hits UK, which is available everywhere on DAB. So they're the main like three that you can get in like a car kind of thing. But there's loads now. It's crazy how many radio stations actually is like through internet streaming.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is kind of the new revolution. The whole podcasting, internet radio. It's kind of the birth of the next where it's going to be.
Yeah,
It's quite exciting to kind of be on
Cusp of that.
the beginning of that.
Oh, sorry. I said cusp.
you gotta love the word cusp. Cusp is such a underrated word.
You're bringing it back.
I try and use it as many times as possible, even if it's not in context.
Yeah, just once a day.
Just once a day, like a daily
I'm going
quota.
to challenge you to that. I'm going to challenge you to it.
Just do a video every so often.
You're on the cusp of something amazing.
I'm on the cusp of having my tea.
Yeah.
Go on, it's your turn.
I don't know.
I see he's just so bad at
Yeah.
like games and everything.
Oh,
Chris.
I know.
letting aside.
Yeah, exactly. Boo. I wish I had my little like on our live streams we have like little sound effects and there's a boo one. So I wish I had like a little boo to boo you.
And you can add one in post, So.
Yeah.
See that I might try and find a little boo clip. That's one thing I want to do though in the future is like upgrade all my equipment to have like a proper like soundboard kind of thing. But by that point I'll actually be able to have guests here. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Get to meet everybody in
That'll be
person.
awesome.
that's one thing I'm looking forward to is being able to meet like you guys. I can't wait to actually meet you. at a
Yeah.
I
gig.
know we're like, so like you seem like such a like good guy. Do you know you're kind of the guy like you go out with like a load of beers with and you'd still be like really okay to listen to at the end of the night.
See, I get bored of myself all the time.
It's the honestly love that there's like people that we've met and it's been like, you go out and you're like sitting there like, oh, yeah, okay. I'm so happy to be here with you too. But you actually seem like one of those guys who'd be like decent, still by the end of the night there'd be something new to talk about, not the same story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I love about these podcasts is it should be about music, but we've talked pretty much about everything.
Everything. That's the thing, and I think people like listening to that kind of thing. Well, hopefully they do.
Well, I like listening to it.
But
'cause it's
I don't know if you've noticed, but somehow each little random topic we've spoke about today is kind of like linked in to actual music.
yeah.
Yeah. We have
It's clever.
we all have a habit of that.
By design.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now I'm getting towards the end of the podcast, so what I like to do is ask a couple of questions at the end. But before I do that, I just want to go through the socials. So where can we find you on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram?
Well, basically, everything is The Rising Music, bar Facebook, which is The Rising Official,
And your website?
therisingmusic.com.
Awesome. And just as a reminder, everybody, check out the store. Buy the music, buy the artwork, buy everything, just because that's what allows artists to produce more music. It's what funds people's lives. And yeah, plus it's something you can hold. We've talked about this earlier. It's something you can physically hold. Other people can't say that. So there you go. On to the questions.
Okay.
So what I usually do is I ask 3 debate-ish questions. So the first debate-ish kind of question is a Jaffa cake. What is it to you, a cake or a biscuit? Or a nugget? By
Well, for
nugget,
me-
I mean it's like a mix between both.
Yeah. For me, the clue's in the name, so I'm going to go with cake.
No.
It's like a mini cake.
No.
It's like, imagine, like, you know, like that. What's the movie? When they like put the post on, like
Stop it.
Beetlejuice, where he like
No.
puts the thing on, he shrinks it. So imagine like a cake, and he's just putting it, and he shrinks the cake.
But it's
Such a
biscuit
great film as well.
But it's like a biscuit recipe. So
But
I
it's,
can't. No.
but it's got sponge bottom. It's like a sponge.
It's like, yeah, but it's not really sponge. It's kind of like textured.
It's a textured sponge.
Sponge with biscuits that are textured.
But imagine it bigger. Like imagine like a big cake, and you just kind of shrunk it.
Okay, well, I can understand, but I can understand how you would think it's a cake because there's like jelly and like chocolate. But I mean, you eat chocolate digestives, and they're like similar.
they're-
If you put like an orange jelly in the middle of a chocolate digestive, you technically have a Jaffa cake.
But like, digestives are like crunchy, and biscuits.
So are Jaffa cake. It's like,
Like, to me, like a biscuit has to be like crunchy.
do you dip a Jaffa cake in tea?
Ew, no,
What?
no. Why would you do
Do you,
that?
Chantelle?
Because it melts the chocolate. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, finally, somebody that does it.
exactly.
Somebody.
Yes, it melts the chocolate. You see, I'm not a weirdo.
That's so strange.
It's a biscuit. You dunk a biscuit. You can't dunk cake.
When you're in Essence Yard dunking a
I'm
cake.
not dunking a cake. Before we end up killing each other, I think it's best to move on.
Yeah, so we've got a cake and we've got a biscuit. It's a split. I've just, caused
Yeah.
ruptions within a band. You're going to love this next one then. Do you both eat
Okay.
pizza?
Yes.
What is
we
your
both love
thoughts?
Pizza.
What's your thoughts on pineapple on pizza?
Oh dear. You
Oh.
asked the pivotal question.
For me, it's a no-go,
For me, it's a go.
and you're not allowed to eat.
I'm actually not allowed to eat pineapple. I'm allergic to pineapple. I actually found out. I found out like about
By
2
accident.
years ago. Yeah, by accident. Because I was always eating pineapple on pizza, and I never thought anything of it. And I was getting like kind of sick afterwards and stuff, and I didn't really know why. I thought it was the gluten
Yeah.
of the pizza base. So I was kind of like going, oh, I can't eat pizza, blah, blah, blah. And when I did get a pizza every now and again, I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be sick anyway because of the bread. I'm fine. But so I'm going to be
But it's
fine.
worth it.
Sacrifices.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And then he was like, I was eating a toast. I would come over to his house over in Belfast, and I would come over and I'd be like eating toasties, and he'd be like, but you said it might have been gluten. I was like, oh yeah.
Click.
Something's different. So I had the pizza again. I was like, it must be ham or pineapple. And it was like, and he was like, I bet you it's pineapple. And he was laughing at me because I always had a Hawaiian pizza and now I can't. So
Same.
I still love pineapple on pizza, but I can't have it. So
But
I say it's a go.
But that's the gods of pizza going,
No, it
this is
isn't.
a no-go.
Look, I love Gordon Ramsay too, but like, goodness hell, it
Well, you're
makes it so moist.
Well, you're
and
not,
so
you're not
lovely.
going to eat Gordon Ramsay, are you?
Do you know what? He's nearly 50 and I really would go there. I'm not going to lie about it.
All right.
Thing
Yeah.
is, though, he still looks really fit. Like, healthy
Exactly.
and...
Yeah. Oh, gorgeous. But yeah, no, pineapple on pizza, it's a good thing. It's okay.
Yeah.
Going
But
on to the
gods of
Ramsey
pizza.
topic. Going on to the Ramsey topic. Did you watch that Gordon, Gino, and Fred thing?
Yes, I
Does
did. I did.
America, I think it's called.
Yeah, I did. Gordon and Gino just like constantly battle it out. Kind of like me and you. It's all good.
It's such a great program.
Amazing. I love that. But yes, pineapple on pizza is a yes for anybody who's listening.
So we've got
God,
another
pizza
yes
thing.
and a no.
Yeah. Do we ever agree?
You might agree
Sometimes.
on this one. Last
Okay.
one is Marmite. Yes or no?
Eh,
Love it or hate it?
Hate it.
no.
Yeah, we agree on that.
No.
That's okay.
There we go. Found something.
Go on. Yay.
That's what it's about. Now,
Eh?
for the final few questions, it's almost like based on a night out. So when you go out for like a drink, where do you like to go? Do you like to go to clubs, pubs, or bars?
I think we're more of like bar people.
Yeah, I kind of like live music. So if there's a bar playing live music, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just like to chill.
Yeah, somewhere to have like a meal, have like a drink or something.
Yeah. Somewhere like out, like a bar, like has like an outside area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's always good.
Clubs.
We're not really club people. No.
It's just that
It's so claustrophobic.
you know
Yeah.
that we are stuck together and the
And
music.
it's the same beat constantly. For
Yeah.
like
It's always the
6
same.
hours.
It's always the same dancey tune as well, unless you go to a proper country club. But then even then,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I was just about to say there, the Under the Bridge. That was our end of tour celebration one time.
I can't really remember most of
And
it.
yeah, it was messy. It was to say the least.
can't be a messy night.
Yeah.
It was my birthday, that tour, so it was like I had just turned 18.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can drink for legal. So I was like, yeah. I think we ended up going to McDonald's, didn't we? In
Yeah.
London. And I remember getting into the bed
At stupid o'clock.
and you were like, do you want your cheeseburger? And I was like, no.
And then like 10 minutes later, the airplanes were like touching
Yeah,
the
it was
roof.
mad. It was really bad. Really
Yep,
bad
the
experience.
hotel was right on the runway.
Literally.
Oh
Literally.
no, quite literally.
And it's 6 a.m.
We'd only gotten into bed about 4.
I think we actually timed it. It was every 40 seconds or so.
It was every 40 seconds.
40 to 60 seconds there was a plane, and it was literally touching the roof.
Yeah.
Oh,
It got to the point where the other guys that we were on tour with one of them was actually a plane.
He's a plane bus, so he was out going, it's a Boeing that's going to somewhere. And this thing, it was like, geez.
Plane finder app. Yep, that's
Yeah.
going to LA. That's going to Schiphol. That's come from Leeds.
They were literally so low that you could like
Yeah.
practically see the people sitting.
Yeah, and
It's
plus
crazy.
the fact, like, our flight was at 11 anyway, I think. So we were up anyway to get up, and he, like, was forcing me to eat, like, sausages and bacon. And I was like, no.
See, it always sounds horrible when you're about to eat it, but when you're actually eating it, it just soaks up all the alcohol and you just feel so much better for it.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I felt okay, but,
Yeah.
like, during it, I was like, no.
Yeah. Oh, it's always after the fact that it's great. It's
Yeah,
never during.
for sure.
The next question is, when you do go out, what is like your go-to drink?
I am a vodka and Sprite kind of girl. Or I'll take, like, a cocktail if there's one going.
It depends on budget, doesn't it?
If someone else is buying.
No, you're not. You're always Peroni.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen
Although
you,
other
it's
beers
Peroni.
do exist.
Yeah,
But yeah, beer.
you're a beer person.
I tend to get into beer because it was cheaper to get on a night out.
Yeah.
Because you could, like what?
I only think I've ever seen you once, like, try rum, and you were like, that's not for me.
Yeah, I don't mind whiskey. I would like whiskey.
You like a wee GD.
Yeah,
JD.
like JD and Coke or whatever.
Yeah.
But
But mostly
it's
Peroni.
expensive to get, so you just stick to beer.
Yeah.
I'm just buy me vodkas all night, I'm okay.
Yeah.
See, vodka's
And
always
then
the nice studenty drink to get.
Well,
Especially,
I am a student, so
especially with Sprite.
yeah, it makes sense for me. Yeah,
I've never
but
tried it with Sprite.
although, like, really?
It's
Yeah.
really nice.
How many times have you been out with me?
I must try that.
I honestly no. There was actually this one story. You'll actually love this, right? I start off on, like, vodkas and Sprites and stuff, and then by the end of the night, people are, like, giving me things, and I'm just drinking them. And there was on tour, actually, believe it or not, like, before one of the shows and stuff, they'd wanted to have, like, a final farewell to us all, and it was like,
Yeah.
right, okay. And they brought, like, a round of tequila shots for everybody, and I had done the first one, and I spat it back out because I felt like I was at the dentist,
Yeah.
like, because I went numb. So they brought like a second and a third round. So the third, like, the second round, I just kind of, like, over the shoulder type of thing. And then the third one, Chris was like, right, you're not wasting any more money. And I was like, right, okay, what are you going to do? And they went 1, 2, 3. Chris had already drunk his, and I just went, oh, okay. And he handed me his glass, and he chugged mine back. So he had, like, 4 tequila
Clever.
shots. It was ridiculous. I think he got up on stage afterwards, like, I don't know how to play, but I'm okay.
My hands are numb.
Muscle memory.
That night, he threw the guitar behind his head so so quick. I honestly thought he gave himself whiplash.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
He plays it like behind his head.
That is. I can't wait to see you guys live. Please do that. Please get.
He's legendary.
Or the old throwing it up in the air one.
No, that no. He throws it so high that I'm like, there's actually a photo of me, and I look. The picture of like feet, like death is coming towards me. I'm like, help me. And he's like, yes, this is so fun.
That's brilliant. Oh, that's what you need to do in your next proper gig when we actually do get to play live gigs again. Get as wasted as you can. Make sure it's like a free night that everybody else, nobody has to pay to get in kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I would so love to do
Although
that.
I don't need to get wasted to make a fool of myself. I just,
With that? No.
We love you, Chris. We love you.
I can be a wee bit of a weirdo when I'm drunk, so we'll see.
Imagine.
I'll probably go from like being so happy to be on stage to like crying at one of the like ballads.
Sat
like
at
not
the back.
being able to sing.
Sat at the back of the stage.
Even the star. I can't sing the rest.
Then you'll just be shouting at everybody.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I hope.
Going on to the next thing, you've already kind of semi-answered this. When you're walking home after you're absolutely paralytic and you need something to eat, where is it you normally go?
Usually a chippy.
For you?
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Chips.
No.
Yeah.
No. Pizza or Chinese?
Well, your pizza would be good, but
Chinese
very
is
heavy.
always great though.
I like Chinese.
Chinese is amazing.
Chinese
Okay.
is amazing.
Yeah. After a night out, yeah, for sure, 100%. You get the fried rice with like chicken balls and noodles, and you have some curry sauce, and it's like amazing.
Yep.
You've given this some thought.
I've been out a lot of times to know what makes me happy afterwards.
That's what it's about.
Potatoes.
Yeah. You just love
soak up.
potatoes. But no, you go through this. He goes through this like stage where it's like, he'll get to drunk and then he'll throw up and he'll be sober again.
Yep.
And just can start again. And I'm like, that must be amazing.
You see,
Just
it's
to be
called
like-
making room. You're making room for more.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
It's not.
I
It's
can't
not a
do
bad
it. Like,
thing.
I actually freak out.
Yeah.
I think I've thrown up once with you, and like he was like holding my ponytail, and I was like, "This is so cliche." and
Things you do.
he was like, "It's okay, we'll get you a pizza." And I was like, "No, I want chocolate." He was like, "Chocolate will make you sick." I was like, "Don't want to be sick." It's so cliche though. We're really funny when we're out together. It's pretty hilarious.
Cannot
I
wait.
force him to dance.
That's something we definitely need to do. Then we need to all go for a drink when all this is done.
Yeah.
If you
In
ever
Yorkshire.
back up here in Yorkshire, I know you're in limited spar at the moment, but yeah, if you're in this neck of the woods, if you're near York, let me know and I'll take you for a drink. I'll take you for a proper night out.
Awesome. It's a plan.
I'm trying to think of the bar in Emmerdale.
I mean,
Wolfpack.
you're just insulting everybody.
Sorry, that's where I go.
Last question is not so much the drinking side, it's what would you rather have, coffees or teas or soft drinks?
Tea.
Probably soft drinks for me.
Pretty simple, that one.
Or smoothies.
Okay.
What kind of
wanna make
smoothies?
The
Strawberry?
old strawberry or the sort of mango kind of.
You like mango?
Yeah.
Would
Yeah.
you do like a frozen fruit kind of thing, chuck it into a blitzer and drink it
Yeah.
straight like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we go to Tim Hortons quite a lot. So, like, I'll get like it's weird. They call it a frozen hot chocolate, but it's like just like chocolate milk. It's great. And he'll get like strawberry crushed ice one. That one.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I've got to say though, the like frozen hot chocolate sounds really good.
It's really good. It's weird. It's like amazingly, it tastes like hot chocolate, but cold. It's really great. Everyone's like, it's chocolate milk, but it's not.
Where's that? Where was that again?
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
I need to try and find one. If anybody out there knows where one is near me, let me know in Twitter or Facebook at country_chat.
Yeah, Tim Hortons. Really good. Really
We've
recommend.
advertised so many businesses during this.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about not being a sponsored podcast at the moment is if anybody does want to sponsor me, let me know and I'll stop talking about everybody. But at the moment, I'm going to talk about everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Heads in the best.
Yeah.
See who minds, yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to add to this?
I don't think so.
I think we've been through a roller coaster, to be fair.
We're probably bored everybody to death.
Oh, no.
Maybe.
If people have made it through this far, let us know.
Yeah. Give us a wee message and be like...
Yeah. A little reward, a little star, you know.
Just as a reminder then for everybody, buy the music. You know, go to the store. Don't just stream it. Actually buy a physical copy. Have something to own. You know, buy I Want You. Buy Shadows on the Wall. Have the artwork for the walls because that's, like I said earlier, it's helping not only the musicians, but it's helping us as fans get more music in the future. So to me, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Thank you guys for coming on. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having us and, like, you know, keeping up with us.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's about. I mean, another thing that I do before each show, I've mentioned this before in other episodes, I always apologise for my accent because I'm from the north. I'm from Yorkshire, and obviously you guys are from Northern Ireland, so it was like, oh, well, if you don't understand us, just ask us to repeat as well. Love it. I do love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and I shall see everybody next time. Ta-ra for now.
That was the Country Chat Podcast. Join Dom next time for exclusive interviews, reviews, and general chit-chat on all things country music.